Hey, this is Sam Black with my second match with 5 color mid-range in Standard. I am on the draw and have a really good hand. It has a good mix of threats and removal and the correct lands to sequence properly in the beginning of the game. That mountain means that the Bloodstained Mire can fetch Cinderglade, so that I can really have everything work out perfectly. So I'll play Mountain and Fiery Impulse here. And this will get Plains so that I can Mantis Rider. Alright, that'll work. This land is less useful than the Bloodstained Mire, so let's see. This can't get Smoldering Marsh or Sunken Hollow, and Sunken Hollow is the next land I want. So I guess I'll play the Sunken Hollow and attack with the Rhino. I guess yeah, Fiery Impulse. That's fine. Play the face down Den Protector. And against an opponent at 8 life. Let's see. It's either Crackling Doom or Siege Rhino. The Shambling Vent makes me want to strongly consider Crackling Doom. But Rhino is a big life swing. I'm going to take the Rhino. Crackling Doom is more replaceable. Like that. I'll just get a swamp here. Leave the Smoldering Marsh so that more of my fetch lands are on longer. Alright. Opponent, I guess, did not have an answer to the Den Protector. So, this is the kind of spot I was talking about, where I'm just going to shift gears here. think the last cut is I think the last cut is Murderous Cut. Could be a Disdainful Stroke. I didn't actually see very much that it counters, but my opponent could be boarding in Planeswalkers, and Pia and Kieran Nalaar is a serious concern since I'm not bringing in Radiant Flames. Could be Fiery Impulse, but I think Fiery Impulse is mostly better than Cut. No, I'll put out Cut. This hand is fine. Once I remove the threats from my deck, I'm really just looking for a mix of lands and spells, because I'm not going to be carving out and pressuring my opponent anyway, so I keep most things, which makes sense because mulliganing is a lot worse in an attrition matchup. I'm going to lead Flooded Strand for Sunken Hollow since I have the plains in my hand, so this doesn't fetch any basics. Bloodstained Mire for Mountain, which means I can't Surge a haste creature this turn, but that's not a concern. Very good start from my opponent in this matchup. Could be a problem. Need to find another end. Another good reason to have a Disdainful Stroke in. Going to continue leading fetch lands aggressively to try to thin my deck. Good news is, if this Outpost Siege hits removal, it doesn't do anything, and probably a lot of my opponent's deck is removal. But it still doesn't take many hits on real things to bury me here. Yeah. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Getting 2 damage off Outpost Siege is not really that threatening. Alright. Now we're kind of getting somewhere. So now I have this Den Protector Culligan's Command loop established. intent there was to break up the loop, but fortunately I had 2 Kolaghan's commands. Always a good draw. That's something. Okay, good. This doesn't find anything at this point. Yeah, this land is blank. Just the problem with this deck compared to the biggest weakness of this deck compared to I think Mardu Green without blue is that you run out of lands to fetch earlier. The biggest strengths obviously are the blue cards, all of which are good. But in these kind of grindy matchups, it's possible that having more lands that you can play and more masteries, Den Protectors, and Kolaghan's commands is better than having, since Mantis Rider comes out, and then Jace can just get killed. But the Mantis Riders help a lot against the red aggressive decks and the ramp decks. I guess now I have enough mana that I can Kolaghan's command and play Den Protector and flip Den Protector. So my opponent has a full grip. I'm wondering if I want to switch to doing 2 damage instead of making my opponent discard when I loop these Kolaghan's commands. looks like Tasigur, given the cards my opponent is exiling. So that calls for a Crackling Doom. Now, Soulfire Grandmaster is a problem, but I don't think I can afford to lose my Culligan's Command to deal with it. Murderous Cut pre-combat, how generous. That lets me Culligan's Command the Soulfire Grandmaster before it hits me. Alright, Luwani's in sight. Flip this and get, I guess, Crackling Doom. Well, maybe it's still Culligan's Command. So Den Protector to my graveyard already. They each do 2 damage. Would I rather kill my opponent's thing? I guess I'd rather kill my opponent's thing. Because I don't want to let my opponent kill me here. So now I can Den Protector back Culligan's Command or Crackling Doom for the win if my opponent doesn't have something. And that is how we grind out Outpost Siege. Assuming it works. Which it did. Excellent.